Hey, this is Derica, your host on the Happiness Recipe 2.0, where top experts are sharing their personal stories of breaking through their own fear and resistance into their own happy life and how you can do the same. I'm so excited to talk to one of our top influencers today, Mrs. Emily Vavra. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, you guys. So I'm going to jump right into her lovely bio so we can get to know Emily a bit more and then dive into those juicy questions. Now, I always say, you guys, blue pen, white paper, like have it ready, you guys, because I'm feeling there's going to be some nuggets of gold dropped on this episode that you don't want to miss. All right, you guys. So, Emily is an alpha female entrepreneur who had a dream and went for it. This LA based wellness leader and speaker continues to pave the way for others as one of the top network marketing professionals. Since 2011, Emily has helped thousands of entrepreneurs in building their own health, wealth, and financial freedom. People want to know her. What is she wearing? What's she reading? And how does she do it all? Woo! Thank you again, Emily.
Thank you, man. That sounds like a lot. As you read that, I'm like, oh, how do I do it all?
Yeah, that's what we want to know.
I got
That
you.
is just so huge. Love it, girl. All right, let's jump into that. So, why don't we start with just tell us about your story and what led you to do what it is that you do today?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, it was about a decade ago that I was living in Minnesota and I was working multiple jobs. I was a nanny, I was a massage therapist. I started my own website where I went into people's homes and I took out all their bad food and taught them how to eat clean. And I was doing so many things. And in the same year, I competed in the Fitness America circuit because I didn't go to the traditional college. So I like literally needed friends. I needed something to do, at a young age. And what I quickly found though is that I was working all the time, like up at 5 a.m., home at 7 or 8. And I was really living for the weekends and I was punching time clocks and I wasn't living my life with intention or purpose. I didn't even know that existed, to be quite honest with you, until I met a woman at the gym who introduced me to network marketing, which really introduced me to the world of personal development.
Mm.
And that's when I finally saw, like, oh my goodness, you can design your life. Like, you can design it, and the power of mentorship, the power of creating wealth, and all that stuff. So I dove in. I mean, I cannonballed into the pool because I was like, I want my life to change. And I was ready. When the student is ready, the mentor appears, and that's what happened to me. And so, I moved in with my mentor. She was 10 years older than me, and we were both single. And we were like, why don't we just dedicate this year to building our dream life? Let's build a business in the health and wellness space. Let's do personal development and let's just go in. And we were both on the same page. I was 23, she was 33. And that is literally what we did. I had an old desk that she gave me. It like kind of shook when I wrote on it. And I literally had I want to really preface this. I didn't have extra money. Like, I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And I had some hand-me-down books from her. I read Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, started reading all these books that I'd never read in my life.
Mm.
No personal development. And I started to make vision boards, and then I had an action plan, and I went to work on myself. I mean, I literally unplugged the TV.
Mm.
I don't think we watched TV that whole year. And that was the foundation of what you see now,
Yeah.
right? And so, quickly, we could talk about this forever, but I mean, I consistently did the same things day in, day out, became a millionaire at the time I was 26 years old. And then that kind of went into a whole learning process. Like, you achieve that success, what's next?
Yeah.
So deep dove into more stuff, ventured out to Africa for a little bit, continued to go, persist. And now today, 10 years in, overnight success, thousands and thousands of hours later, I'm, the Pacific Ocean is in front of me as we talk today. And,
Mm.
I literally am living my life by design. And, through it all, what I've realized is like, nothing is great until I give it away. And so that's like my biggest mission, is it's to serve people and to help people understand that, no matter what you're going through right now, you can be happy today. And
Yes.
I can so relate to the whole message behind what you've created, because when I was in my first year of building, I had a mattress on the floor in my
Mm.
bedroom. I didn't have a bed frame. It was like pretty ghetto, like it was crazy with my setup. And I remember learning how to practice gratitude. It sounds funny, we have to learn how to practice gratitude, but
I
I was
know.
learning that. And, one of my mentors said, "Hey, Emily, like, if you can't be grateful for what you have now, why on earth do you expect our creator to give you more?" And I started to be grateful for my pillow and like the simple things in life. And that is where happiness is for me. Like, it's found in the
Yeah.
small moments, the small things. And yeah, so that's a little bit of
Woo.
my backstory. We could even go deeper. Raised by a single mom, yeah, abusive guy, lived in the house for 7 years. The whole, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm
yeah,
loving this. I love how it unraveled to where you started off at that breaking point, or you knew, well, you were ready because then the teacher appeared, but you were at that pivot point where the fork in the road, right?
yeah,
That is where and certainly after this year, I feel like we all are. We're like, oh, enough is enough. We're just
I
popping
know.
out of the seams of just trying to figure out life again and how to be happy again and how to move on. And
Mhm.
that was your point. And that's a very strong, powerful point for us all right now. And the key point, you said you leaped in. You cannonballed. You said you
Yeah.
just went all out. You didn't care. You just was like, leap of
Yep.
faith. You did it, right?
Yep.
That's it right there. Can you let's go a little bit deeper. Can you tell me some of those at that point? What were some of those big lurking barriers, those things that were in your mind, some of the resistance that was popping up for you that like stopped you every time?
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, so much. So, like I said, I grew up with a single mom in a very small town in Minnesota. I didn't go on a vacation until I was, high school, and that was with a girlfriend. Like, we didn't,
Yeah.
very basic life. I'm grateful for it. But when I got into the business world, I started to be around people that were 10 steps ahead of me, and they drove nice cars, and they spoke eloquently, and the way they carried themselves, and they wore nice clothes and had manicured nails, and like they shopped at Lululemon. And I was like, I can't even imagine buying $100 sweatshirt,
Yeah.
and all this was beyond me. And my biggest holdup was my money mindset and feeling unworthy. And,
Mm.
it was like somehow, some way, I was gifted and to be able to be in their presence. And little did I know they loved my energy too, but I felt inadequate. Like, I felt, and so instead of being in the moment and enjoying my present moment of whatever it is we were doing, working on, what have you, I was always thinking of lack. I was always
Mm.
thinking of like, you don't have that. And, it was just constant for me. And so, I had the typical good enough feelings. And in my profession, it's a lot of speaking and presenting. I'm presenting an opportunity to people constantly. And
Yeah.
I didn't have the confidence to speak, to cast vision for people, to speak into, like, I just was hiding. It's not that I didn't have a voice. I just didn't find my voice. Like and I was living in my head instead of living in my heart.
Ooh.
And that was my holdup. It was just, everything was like, do I sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, this person has a PhD. Are they judging me? Like, and it was, once I got out of my head and got into my heart and just fell in love with who I am and had more grace in my life, like,
Yeah.
that's when everything started to change for me. And I started to really become who Emily's supposed to be.
Right.
Because for so long, I was trying to, like, see what all the people in my industry did. And then I was trying to be exactly like them, which is not me. And when we try to do that, that's why social media is so dangerous, is that you see the way someone makes a reel or someone makes a post or so, and it's like, you're literally trying to be just like them,
Yeah.
but you're never going to be like them because you don't have their energy, you don't have their essence.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. And so those are some
Mhm.
of the things I dealt with in the beginning. And
Okay.
the typical stuff, rejection. I mean, I dealt with rejection since I was a young girl after, my dad left. It's like,
Yeah.
this stuff stemmed from way back when. So that was some of the typical stuff that I dealt with, that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, there I can just feel it. Everyone's like, "Yes, uh-huh, uh-huh." Even me, after all these years later, going through so many leadership programs and self-work, it's like, huh, you can still feel some of those barriers, but I know, girl, that was on point. We're all like, "Yes, yes, yes." How did you break out of the head into the heart?
Mhm.
Is there like one big moment or technique or some kind of awakening you had where you like, "Okay, that was how I broke through that lack of, lack mindset and lack of confidence," that kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a combination of a few things, but one
Okay.
of the biggest things for me, even today, if I get in my head, for me, like, no matter what I have on this earth, the cars, the houses, the this, the
Mm.
that, if I am not spiritually sound, I go back into my head. And I'm not like, I could listen. I've been to museums in Paris. I've
Yeah.
purchased Louis Vuitton, this, that, whatever. None of that stuff has fulfilled me like my spiritual life. And I always tell people, you can either be broken or broken open. And the only way that I believe that you can really connect is when you shut everything down and you start meditating and you start praying. And so you're receiving when you're meditating, you're
Mm.
praying, you're asking, no matter what you believe. I think we all believe in something greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
And for me, I I just got to this point where I was like, why doesn't anything feel good? And so that's when I started to pursue my faith more. And that's where I realized, like, I'm not my past. I'm not, I'm not how I grew up. I'm not my mistakes. No, I'm like created uniquely and wonderfully made. And when I started to realize that and then pursue that, and just really spend time for me with God, that's when I was like broken open.
Mm.
And I just connected to the higher power. And that is my secret sauce. Like, even today, like backstage, like, nobody talks
Mm.
to me because I'm getting channeling my energy and
Yes.
preparing. And and when I understood that, I'm like, wow, like, there is nobody like you. Like, you watching this right now, there is literally no one that has the number of hairs on your head. There is no one that has your heartbeat. There's no one that looks like you. Like, that is a gift. And I started to trade, as a lot of our friend Tony Robbins says expectation for appreciation. And I started to appreciate that maybe I talk a little different. I started to appreciate that, my gifts, and I started to appreciate the way I grew up, because I wouldn't be the woman I am today if I
Yeah.
didn't grow up with a single mom.
Mm.
And so that helped me break through. That was a definite defining moment. And to be honest, it was a rock bottom moment that turned into a breakthrough moment, because I just wept and wept and wept
Yeah.
at this like community church in the parking lot afterwards. And that's when I was like, I'm done trying to do this on my own. I'm done trying to figure it out on my own. And
Yeah.
there's something so much bigger than me here. And that's when I like just broke through.
You
And
broke through. Mm.
yeah,
And
but
that's a
it's,
tool that you're continually,
yeah.
right? That we go
Oh,
through as,
it's like working out. It's like eating clean. It's like I did it this morning, right? Continuous improvement. But then the thing that is so important is I realized it and then I took action.
yeah.
So I started to do more meetings. I started to call more people. I started to like go for my dreams. And through going through it, through working through the meeting, speaking, that's when I realized, okay, this is where you need to get better. This is where you can improve. And it's just that continuous improvement.
Nice. So well said. I love you're starting. I'm just recapping what Emily is saying because I'm taking notes like crazy, you guys. It's and you're incomparable. You start with just, loving and appreciating your story. What makes you so divinely unique from everybody else on this planet? Instead of us, and I did this, we kind of use as a hindrance. I was
Right.
raised with a single mother on welfare, I was homeless, all this stuff. And we, instead of it being like a crutch or something that
Yeah.
holds us down, like, no, this is ours and let's see how it's there to be used, right?
Mm,
So you just fell in love with all of that in finding that spirituality there, coming back to home.
yep.
That was your breaking through. And then I hear it's just, you guys, it's like showering, it's like brushing our teeth. As we're going through life, we have to continually come back home, come back to that. Every time we hit a block, every time we hit a barrier, we got to rip it open, go in, feel it, and then what does Tony said? He says, face the fear. No, you have to face it to heal it. Is that
Yeah.
the saying? So you
Yeah.
kind of, that kind of reminds me of what you're saying, right? You're
Yeah.
facing, and then you're like, oh, okay, now what do I
Yeah.
want now? Kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is delicious. This is so good. Can you tap us into we love stories. Can you tap us
Yeah.
into a client testimonial, a story that you have with someone that you were able to personally support into where they want to
Mm.
be?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I have thousands of stories now, which is so awesome. But yeah, one of my girls, she grew up in a small town like me, and she joined my business, and she literally similar things as me. I think that we all deal with not having confidence to build a business, self-worth, all the things, body image, all that, eating issues. And we work together on building her day by day, week by week, month by month. And it's been a 3-year process, but now she's built a business. She fell in love. She had 2 babies. Like a lot has transpired through us working together.
Yeah.
But she's teaching other people now. And to me, like, that is the greatest thing. It's not about me being cool and whatever, having notoriety. It's like when I think about success, it's what people have I directly impacted that they're able and they're equipped to go lead others. And that's what I'm more interested in. And because that's legacy and
Yeah.
that's impact. And so, yeah, I think of this girl and I just smile. We actually just talked last week and she was like, I'm like, remember where you started?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Once we get going, we tend to forget how far we've come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, pat yourself on the back, like honor yourself for that.
Mm.
But it's pretty cool that she's able to be home, raise her kids, but also now she is an entrepreneur and she's bringing in income for their family. And to me,
Wow.
that's like so awesome.
That is heart's work right there. I can just feel it as you're talking about the gratitude and the love emanating from you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call like, okay, Emily, can you help me like guide me, girl? Because that is there's so many of us that are stuck at that point where they're knowing there's so much more to them.
I know.
They're creators here to
Mhm.
create and those just darn it's like brick walls. They're like tear those babies down because you
Yeah,
can feel them. You're destined for so much bigger than what
right.
we're playing, you know?
Amen. Yes.
Oh, and we need that right coach, that right mentor. I heard you
Yeah.
mention that a few times. Can you share? This is something, this is a random side question, but can
Yeah.
you just deliver how important it is to have someone by your side, a coach, a
Yes.
mentor there for you?
Yes. All day long. Okay. I'm doing it today and still have people in my life that I look to for mentorship. And as humans, and depending on how you're raised, like for me, I wore it as a badge of honor doing things by myself. I was
Yeah.
like, before I had my first mentor and realized how game changing it is, I was like, I got this, I can figure it out. Because I was raised by a single mom who that's what she did. She figured it all out by herself. So when it came to like asking for help, sometimes I had issues with that. Until I got my first mentor, I realized that mentorship is condensing time frames. And we are built for a reason in community, and our human needs, it has to do with relationships. And it's so powerful when you just put it out there like, I'm looking for help in these areas. Who can help me? And even my greatest friends and mentors, like John Maxwell, I've spoken with him at his events a couple times. And like, he's like, I have a mentor for golf. I have a mentor for my spiritual life. I have a mentor for speaking and coaching and, you know, all the things in our lives. And he's one of the greatest leadership people in the world right now. And I just want to like really impress that on you, like that no matter what level you're at, if you want to continue to grow and not flatline and not decline, asking for help is one of the best things you can possibly do.
Mm.
And
Yes.
that's how I've continued to soar. You know, people are like, "Oh, Emily, isn't it enough?" Like, I'm like, we have infinite human potential. Do you understand that? Infinite. It's society and our own limiting beliefs that puts caps on us. And I'm like, I'm just getting started. So that means I need to condense timeframes. And so that's why I'm searching and seeking out mentorship all the time. And you may be thinking, hey, Emily, like I don't have a lot of extra funds for it. Guess what? A lot of this stuff is free. A lot of it, like, you know, I would stay in bed at night and I would watch YouTube videos of people. I would search up my favorite people. I would grab their books. And then it got to the point where I wanted to be in closer proximity to these people. So instead of spending money at Target and just buying endless amounts of things I didn't need, or buying different things I didn't need, or instead of going on a spring break trip, I literally would invest in going to an event because it's the law of trade-offs. And
Yeah.
those things I invested in paid me dividend. It's paid me, I mean, it's built my whole enterprise that I have. So
Wow.
yes, I believe in mentorship.
Yes. Yes. Landed in a beautiful circle.
Yeah.
There was a moment and I just felt it. This well, first with self when you said your mom, how your mom was a hard-working woman who did everything by herself, and that's how you inherited that program. I knew I had that program too, you guys. I had that program of like queen solopreneur over here, do it all. Like
Right.
I have 4 little kids, I have multiple businesses, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm like, right? When you said that, Emily, my heart went like it just cracked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I now know why I got that. And and it's this beautiful thing, but when like
Mm,
she said, when you sometimes you gotta go back deep, you guys.
you do.
Oh, and you see these patterns and you see this stuff, how we pick it up from our upbringing. And it's like, it's not yours. She just said your infinite potential. You have it all within you,
Mhm.
like limitless. And the only damn barriers we have are the programs that we're picking up along the way.
Right.
That was mama shit. Sorry, that was mama
Yeah.
stuff, not mine.
No, it's truth. It's truth. Yeah.
Oh, that was so healing. I know for so
Oh,
many of
good.
us. Woo, girl, you dropped
Good.
so many nuggets right there. All about the importance of asking for help. You guys, please have your pen. Have your pen.
Mm,
We are co-creators. We didn't come to a deserted planet to be by ourselves. We
right.
need each other. We have
Yeah.
blind spots. We need to support each other. We're going to fall down. We need empowerment, cheerleaders, and guiders by our side. So thank you. No, that landed so beautifully.
Mm,
Yes. Hallelujah. Okay.
yeah.
Woo! Can you share? Gosh, we're rolling through this so well. And that person, well, let's change this up. One happy hack that you do, which you already shared a lot, but if there's one little one that you do whenever you're feeling down, like you just dropped, is there a little tool you reach in your pocket and pull out, this little hack that gets you back into alignment?
Yes, absolutely. For me, I connect very well with music. And so it's like no matter what, and I coach a lot of moms where there's like kids all day. And maybe you're watching this and you work a full-time job, but you really want to pursue something else where you
Yeah.
have to change your state. So I am very aware of my state and my frequency all day long.
Mm.
And even before we're talking here today, I did this. And even if like last night I gave a talk and I was going into my calm state where I was like, I'm a bit tired and I needed to change it. Right. So I'll just put on my earbuds and get on my rebounder, my trampoline,
Mm.
and I just visualize, and it's like 3 minutes, however long a song is. And,
Yeah.
find something that just ignites you. I mean, maybe it's something from The Greatest Showman that's like
Mhm.
inspiring, or maybe it's like more of a Lauren Diego, like spiritual song. MSC is like my favorite. That's like my, where I go here in LA. Whatever it is, we're all different, but find it. And that's what I do to just get me shifted and realign, because I just have to block out everything else. It's like we're all in charge here. And so when you realize like you can turn it around, and I talk to myself a lot. Like if I have a moment where it's a conflict or something like that, I'm like, Emily,
Yeah.
turn it around, turn it around, turn it around. So these moments, these issues don't turn into days or weeks anymore. They're moments. And then I
Yeah.
turn it around and I get on the trampoline or whatever I need to do and I light myself on fire, and then I'm able to get aligned. And it's so funny, like me and my girlfriend, my best friend, actually she was first my mentor, now she's my best friend, the one I was talking about. um, she was going through a moment, and like a relationship moment.
Mm.
And I said, do you feel that? And she's like, what? I'm like, do you feel our frequency right now? Because we're talking about blaming him,
Mm.
we're justifying, we're talking about jealousy, we're talking about anger. This is all the normal stuff we feel when we get in conflict with
Yeah.
someone. And she's like, this is so low vibe. And I'm like, I know. And we were like, oh, and she's like, I don't like myself right now. And I'm like, girl, I totally have felt this way. And
Mhm.
so it's like that awareness. And then I'm like, turn it around. And then she was like, later that night, she's like, Emily, I like did a meditation, I did a prayer. I, put some music on. She's like, I'm feeling a lot better. And
Oh,
so, yeah, that's what I do.
that's amazing. And you're backing it up with these stories that we can all hook onto, because let's go back a little bit about the energy. Because I think we all know, even if we're not too intuitive, how we like to say it, you feel it when you're being down, when you're being negative Nelly, Debbie Downer comes in the house, like
Yeah.
you know right? You're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." You just feel it's a real, truly, it's a frequency shift. Your vibration now has tuned to this much lower frequency, and you're just like going down.
Yep.
You feel it, right? So music, I love how you say that because music, depending on what you're listening to, has a if it's a nice song, makes you happy, it's gonna just
Yeah.
tune that dial right on up and just
Yep.
as a little quick Parker, then the rebounder, double whammy,
Yeah.
right? Like I love that. Okay, guys, music, boogie, rebounder.
Yep.
Self-talk too. You said coach, like you're your biggest cheerleader. You're your best
Hmm.
friend.
Hmm.
That self-awareness, coaching your booty out of whatever you done said.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
the best
No, it's
tool.
so true. It's so true. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is so good. Okay, you guys. Oh, I know you're loving Emily. I know you're loving her energy and you're wanting more. Emily, can you tell us what you're giving away?
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. So I have created something called the It's Emily method, and it's basically 10 years of me
Mm,
building businesses, all the things I've gone through, and not only building it, but sustaining it and continuing to grow. That's
mm,
what I'm most proud of. And,
yeah,
throughout the years and always I get messages like about all these questions. What do you do every day? What do you eat? How do you change your state? I'm big on speaking with prestige, having more grace in your life, living in your zone of genius. And so I'm giving away the first part of my program, which if we value this, is probably, I mean, at least $500. It's
mm,
module one of my 8-week program that you will have as a gift. And I hope it blesses your life and really equips you with what I do. It's the foundation of a success mindset and principles
yeah.
that I believe in. And so that's my gift to you.
That's it, guys. The foundation. That is such a beautiful gift. You think about this woman who has gone from nothing to everything, and she's given you those secrets, the things that she's implementing and has in her life over this whole decade. You guys are like kind of sneaking into her mind and like
Yeah.
getting to embody that and live it and have her by your side, whether that's just through her materials and virtually and everything she's offering there. I mean, this is gold, you guys. Really, truly click the link that's under this video. Jump into her program. I've checked it out. I've seen all the bullet points that she is giving away, and it is insane. You guys don't miss this. Your life will be forever changed. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Emily, for your time. It was such a pleasure meeting you, sharing this space with you.
You too. You're amazing.
Oh,
Wow.
thank
What
you.
you've created is incredible. And it's such a gift to be connected to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. We're all in this together. And thank you for spending this almost an hour with us here today. So beautiful. You if you love this one, you're actually gonna love the next one too.
Yes.
Jump in and connect with Emily, you guys. So much love, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.